Hello, my name is Danny, and I just wanted to start putting stuff out there. I was doing some writing, and essentially, I'm just gonna read one of these entries for you. We have our Walla cup filled with watermelon Red Bull, and the peach nectarine Red Bull. Those are some of my favorite ones. Love me some Red Bull. Love me some Red Bull. I wrote this entry the other night, and it's crazy because it came to me at literally like 2 soon, and I was like, this is it. But it's essentially, you can change your reality. It's science. I don't know what I'm doing, and neither do you. Your mom doesn't know, your dad doesn't know. I frequently recall the fact that it's all our first time experiencing right now. We can plan, we can predict, and we can prepare all we want for the future. But that uncertainty of what the future holds is a thread that runs throughout human history. We've all felt it, some more than others, and I must admit that I'm a particularly anxious person. Found that working a little bit every day at sitting in the uncertainty without cycling into thoughts about how to relieve it has reduced my brain's intense reaction to not knowing. Cause boy, was my brain and body fucking reacting to not knowing. Freaked me the fuck out. And I'm still working on this. I'm not where I want to be. And yet, still, I find it important to acknowledge my progress and what's working for me. Mainly to prevent myself from falling back into mindsets that limit my growth as a person. Instead of falling into anxious thought patterns, I've noticed more hopeful ones. As a self-proclaimed realist, hope and faith has unlocked a version of reality I might have ignored when I had previous beliefs like doom and suffering. Granted, suffering is a part of life, and you kind of have to accept the truths of life in order to move on, and just live life. You kind of have to accept what it is, and suffering is a part of that. However, without consciously realizing it, I had condemned myself to certain destruction and developed a jaded perspective because of the doom I was suffering for, right? And that perspective, that will bring nothing but perpetual suffering. In quantum mechanics, or whatever, I don't know, there's the observer effect. Most people kind of already know what I'm talking about, maybe. If you don't, it's this phenomenon, where light particles behave differently while under observation versus when it isn't. It just means mere observation influences reality. At least that's what I took from it. Do your own research. I just read enough for my own understanding. Read enough for your own understanding. Essentially, it solidified in me that I'm the only obstacle in my way. I had a choice. Now, I could stick with what I already know and continue to suffer as is, or I could change. And I chose change. Seemed silly to consciously, at that point, choose to suffer because of my own mindset. I chose to have faith. Everything will work out in my favor. I believe that now. It wasn't that hard to believe that. That was a very easy switch to flip for me. Why believe that things wouldn't work out in your favor? Answer that question. Why wouldn't things work out for you? That flipped it for me. Why wouldn't things work out for me? I'm like, in the bigger picture, I think, yeah, everything gonna work out. You live life and you die. Shit, yeah, everything's working out for me. I'll believe it, because it just feels ridiculous to believe otherwise. Why choose to be so pessimistic about your own life? Gag. Vibrational, that, just doesn't sit right with me, personally. I also chose to believe that I'm divinely protected. This one, I guess, is a bit more intertwined with spirituality and religion and stuff, because you can think of divine protection coming from the universe, your ancestors, God, For me, it's kind of all three of those things. I just think that source is protecting us all. And I'm part of all, and I'm part of source, so I'm protected divinely. Well, say, I don't choose otherwise. See how choice comes into it? Like, once you really think about these things and you realize, like, oh, a lot of these are things that I've just subconsciously been dragging along throughout my life and have held on to this baggage for so long and been so weighed down by it and achieved literally nothing positive from beliefs like this, that things aren't working out for you, that you're not protected in this world, that no one's looking out for you, shit like that. Like, damn, I would be depressed too. And I was. When you really like take the time to think about it and go inward and ask yourself these questions with true intent to fucking answer them. Because you can bullshit around like, oh, I'm meditating. And you just sitting there thinking about fucking chicken nuggets and fries the entire time. No. That question, that thought that came up that deeply bothered you, that you're immediately ignoring, sit with it. Explore it. Unpack it. Be uncomfortable with your thoughts. It's okay. I promise. Answer those questions that are hard, that you've been ignoring. And if you don't have the answer immediately, that's okay too. But when it comes up again, ask the question again, since you didn't answer it the first time. Have you learned anything new about yourself? Like, start there. You know, I feel like that's what meditation is. People think it's just sitting there, no, it's in there and being uncomfortable and not reaching to distract yourself from that discomfort and being okay with it. I think that's. But another thing that I chose to have unyielding hope in humanity. And this one is hard to do in the current climate. However, I'm choosing it anyway. I choose to extend the hope that I have in myself as a human to other human beings, because we're all humans. Like, we all are fundamentally the same. While some of us may make decisions and choices that contradict your own personal belief as a human, it doesn't negate the fact that they are still one of us. And I think strengthening the togetherness that we feel as humans is important, especially in today's society where individualism is so important and like kind of pushed on you. And while it's important to maintain your uniqueness as a person, we are fundamentally social creatures. We need each other, like, period. So I choose to extend the love I have for myself, the hope I have for my future to others, because that's my natural inclination. And I don't want to go against it because some people have hurt me or hurt others. I've hurt others. And it would break me to think that broke someone else's hope in the whole fucking world. That would kill me. Like, what the fuck? Those are just a couple of the things that I've chosen. I've thought about, and now I'm choosing this. And every time it comes back up, I continue to choose it. And the more I do that, the easier it gets. And I can say it's helped my perspective. While I still am a realist, I feel like I'm seeing the wider truth and not a jaded truth. I've always been pretty logical, but like my data set was a bit corrupted. Like, it was a bit corrupted, you know? So open your sources up a little bit more, especially internally, to what you truly feel. Once I listened to what I truly felt, I realized these things, and it was easier to accept them because I realized, oh wait, I felt like this. No one else told me to fucking feel like this. I didn't just start feeling like this because I've absorbed so much negativity from the people around me and what they're saying and the dialogue. Like, we've absorbed so much from like growing up and stuff and like the media, So to push that away and go in revealed my truths. My reality is limited only by the thoughts that occupy my mind. We are limited by the truths we never unpacked, never dissected, or broke down before digesting and metabolizing as our truth. Our personal truths influence our beliefs. What we believe paints the vision that then manifests into our reality. I think that's why gratitude practices and positive affirmations work. Well, if you want them to, that is. It's a simple way to reframe your learned thought pattern. The present moment is a system that is being observed constantly by your conscious and subconscious mind. We know that this observation and influencing is energetical exchange between the two. At no point are we experiencing a reality that wasn't influenced by observation. We also know that perspective influences or changes how an object or something under observation is perceived. If you look at something from here, it's different than if you look at it from down here. Therefore, a shift or change in perspective not only influences your personal perception, so what you are seeing right now, it doesn't only influence that perception of the system under observation, it directly influences the physical manifestation of said system under observation. So, shifting your perspective physically changes what you're looking at. If you have a negative view on your current life and your future, you will never manifest a positive. If you don't know what you want for yourself, what do you think is going to be manifest? You're going to be taken on this roller coaster that is wild as fuck, and it's called life, baby. Like, you don't want to just go on any roller coaster. You want to pick your path. Go down your path. Life is going to play out. Now, do you want to just be a victim to life and its shenanigans? Do you just want to be a victim to other people's conscious manifestations of reality? Because you're gonna live in something. You're already exist. So to not have a vision of how you want your life to be is also not good, because what plays out is not gonna be in your best interest, if that makes sense. Having a solid vision and working on building that will in time manifest what you want into reality. And this is just a quantum mechanical theory, baby. Once you put in the work, like, you will manifest, bitch, because you're working, you're doing the work. Like, sometimes it's hard to do the work if you don't have the headspace. Like, how are you gonna know what work to do if you don't know what you're working on? Like, you're working to, you're just trapped at that point. You're just a cog in the system. And your individuality that they keep shoving down your throat is worth more to society than that. The system is your life. Science is literally telling you you can change your reality. You just gotta change the way you look at things and have patience first. That's what I wrote. And I believe that shit. I stand on that 10 toes down, boy. That's my 10 tippy toes. 10 tippy toes down. You have the power. And as a collective, we have the power. Imagine if we all believed that we are capable of creating change, not only in our personal lives, but for the people we care about and for greater society. Like, there's so many things that are happening in America right now, in the world right now, and I truly believe so many individuals feeling so powerless is what's going to lead us to the doom. I kind of mentioned before, right? You can do anything. As a collective, we can do anything if we wanted to change it with time and action and thought. We can. And they want to distract you from using your time wisely, from opening up your mind, distracting you with all this content. This is content, right? But what's pushed more? Stuff like this or a 5-second clip of some actual nonsense? They flood your mind with easily digestible concepts that have no real value in building you up as a person who is able of creating and doing anything they want. Stripping that power from you makes life easier for them and harder for you, unfortunately. You can do anything.